The white gloves are spotless. They have to be. You check them a second time before you enter the corridor because a single smudge, a single visible imperfection is the kind of thing that gets noticed here. You are 26 years old. You were selected at 19. Not recruited, selected. The difference matters here because recruitment implies you had a choice, and you never did. Your songbun is rated in the top tier, a classification inherited from your grandfather, who stood close enough to Kim Il-sung at the right moment during the right decade. That proximity became your birthright. It also became your sentence. You live in Pyongyang, 3 kilometers from Ryongseong residence, the primary compound where you work. You take a bus at 5:40 a.m. every morning. You do not speak to other passengers. Not because you are unfriendly, because everyone on that bus has clearance, and clearance means everyone is watching everyone else. You learned this in your first month. You stop saying good morning by your second. Your official title translates roughly to Household Management Specialist, Grade 2. What that means in practice, you maintain the private dining rooms, the receiving halls, the personal corridors that foreign dignitaries never see. You set the tables with French Limoges porcelain before every formal meal. You remove it afterward. You count every piece. The count is checked by a supervisor. The supervisor's count is checked by someone else. Accountability here has no flaw. You have seen him. Not in the way citizens see him. Projected on screens, distant, enormous. You have stood in a room where he was present. You have placed a glass on a table 12 feet from where he sat. You kept your eyes at the correct angle, slightly downward, never directly forward. You know the exact sound of his voice when he is pleased. It is quieter than you expected. There are rules written down, and there are rules that exist only as shared understanding, passed between senior staff in fragments, in careful language, never explained fully to anyone new. The written rules are straightforward. No personal communication devices inside the compound. No eye contact above the chin when serving. No deviation from assigned patrol areas. No discussion of work outside designated debriefing rooms. Violations of written rules result in formal review. Formal review is a process you have never seen anyone survive professionally. The unwritten rules are more precise. You do not react to what you see. You do not record anything in memory more specifically than your role requires. If you observe something that contradicts the official record, a number, a name, a condition, you have observed nothing. There is a term the senior staff use, spoken only once to new personnel during orientation. The phrase translates loosely as the skill of appropriate blindness. It is not a metaphor, it is a practiced physiological behavior. Your face does not move. Your eyes do not track. Your body continues its task. You have become good at this. Better than you thought you could be. The compound itself is segmented into zones of descending access. You hold a Zone 4 clearance, which allows you access to the residential dining wing, 2 receiving corridors, and the Eastern Garden maintenance path. Zone 3 and above is a different country entirely. You know people who are reassigned there. You do not see them anymore at meals. It happens on an ordinary Tuesday in February when the temperature outside is -14 and the heating vents in the eastern corridor are running so loud they mask footsteps. You are replacing a centerpiece, fresh white peonies flown in from somewhere that is not North Korea, a detail you do not think about when you notice the inventory manifest has been left face up on the service counter. This is a minor violation by whoever placed it there. You are about to turn it face down when the column of numbers stops you. The manifest is for the previous week's private dining provisions. You have seen these documents before in abstract, quantities listed without context. But this one has been partially annotated by hand, and the annotation shows the caloric breakdown for a single evening's meal service. 1 table, 1 sitting, 12 guests. The number is 4,600 calories per person, not including supplemental courses. You set the peonies down. You turn the manifest face down. You pick the peonies back up. That number alone would not break you. But 2 days later, you are assigned to a secondary task in the staff logistics office. An unusual request, not explained, and you spend 4 hours processing intake forms for the food distribution center in Hwanghae province. The ration allocation per household there is listed as 250 grams of corn per person per day. You do the math once, you do not do it again. 6 weeks later, a woman named Choi is removed from your work unit. You do not know her well. You know she is 31, that she has a daughter in the Eastern District schools, that she always completed the inventory count 1 column ahead of everyone else because she was precise in the way that only people who are quietly afraid can be precise. She is not there one morning. Her service locker has been cleared. When you ask your direct supervisor carefully with no expression where she has been reassigned, he looks at you for exactly 3 seconds without responding. Then he tells you she has been transferred to a facility in South Hamgyong province for re-education and that her performance record was reviewed and found to contain irregularities. You nod. You return to your station. You know what South Hamgyong means. Everyone in this compound knows. It is not something you were told. It is something that simply exists in the air here, like the smell of floor polish and the hum of the vents, ambient, constant, understood. That evening you think about what she saw. You think about whether it was the same thing you saw. You think about whether the manifest you turned face down was hers. You think about her daughter. Then you stop thinking about all of it because this is the skill, this is what they trained into you. And the horrifying thing, the thing you cannot say out loud to anyone, is that it works. You have 3 options now, and you understand each of them completely. You can continue, perform your role, maintain the skill of appropriate blindness. In 18 months, you become eligible for a Grade 1 reclassification. Your housing allocation improves. Your mother, who lives in a single room in the Mangyongdae district, becomes eligible for an expanded unit. Your silence has a price, and the price is being paid into an account with her name on it. Oh, you can tell someone what you know. Not outside. Outside is not a concept available to you. The Tumen River is 700 kilometers from here, and you have no money and no contact, and 3 generations of family whose fate would invert the moment you moved. You could tell someone inside, a trusted colleague, a senior staff member you believe might share your awareness. This option simply accelerates the process that took Choi. Or you can do nothing differently and simply carry it. Let the weight accumulate without acting on it, without reporting it, without releasing it. You can become the building that holds the thing inside it without showing cracks on the outside. This is not a solution. This is a description of the rest of your life. Every door in this corridor locks from the outside. You continue. Not because you are a coward. Though the distinction may not matter, you continue because your mother is 63 and the heating in her current unit fails twice each winter, and you are the architecture her survival is built on. You continue because the calculation is not between right and wrong. It is between which suffering is yours to choose and which suffering is yours to cause. You set the table for the next formal dinner. Limoges porcelain, hand-pressed linen, peonies replaced, fresh, flown from somewhere you will never go. You count the place settings. Your supervisor counts them after you. Someone counts after him. You keep your face at the correct angle. You do not think about 250 grams. Time passes the way it does in places where each day is identical to the previous one, quickly and also not at all. You receive the Grade 1 reclassification. Your mother is relocated. She calls you in the approved manner, a 3-minute monitored call on the designated family communication day, and her voice sounds warmer than it has in years. She tells you the new unit has a south-facing window. She says the light in the afternoon is very good. You tell her you are happy for her. Choi's daughter was transferred to a state boarding facility in the months following her mother's removal. You know this because the intake roster crossed your station once. Briefly, you turned it face down. You have not thought about it since. That last part is the lie you tell yourself. You have thought about it every day for 14 months. You think about it in the 5-second window between sleep and waking before the day assembles itself around you, before the skill reactivates. 5 seconds. That is all the space left where you are entirely yourself. This morning you put them on before you board the bus. It is not required. You are allowed to carry them and put them on at the service entrance. But somewhere in the last 2 years, you began putting them on at home, so before you leave, before the day begins, before any of it starts. You check them on the bus, still clean, still spotless. The bus moves through Pyongyang in the pale grey light. The buildings are enormous and empty-looking, the streets swept, the portraits on the outer walls watching the road. Everything is exactly as it should be. You look at your hands. There is a woman 2 rows ahead of you on the bus. You have seen her before. Same route, same time, same silence. She is perhaps 40. She holds a cloth bag on her lap with both hands, fingers laced together. Knuckles very still. You have never spoken to her. You never will. But this morning, for reasons you cannot explain and will not examine, you notice that she is also wearing white gloves. Clean ones, spotless. You wonder what she has seen. You wonder what she turns face down before she leaves the house each morning. You wonder how many people on this bus, on every bus, in every corridor, in every room in this city, are walking around with the same 5 seconds. That gap before the day starts, before the skill comes back online. You look away from her. The bus slows. You stop. You stand. You smooth the gloves one final time. Still clean.